Hey Leo, well, we're here for your weekly tarot love reading for November 10th through to November 16th. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and of course for any of you lovely cross watchers dealing with a Leo romantically. Please do keep in mind, as always, Leo, these are general readings. They may or may not resonate. That's totally okay. You are more than welcome here to take what works and leave the rest. So we're jumping right into it today, my lovely lions, and we're going to see what could be coming toward you this week when it comes to love. First message coming out today says separation, sadness, bitterness, missing you, thinking about you, and uncertain future. Okay, first impressions here, Leo. Somebody is missing you pretty badly. They can't stop thinking about you. There's definitely this strong energy of the uncertain future. What's going to happen next between me and Leo? Where are we going to end up? What is the next step? So this definitely suggests that you could be in separation from somebody who you're currently involved with, taking some time apart, trying to make some decisions about your relationship potentially. But I do get the sense here that someone here is really yearning for you, wanting you, missing you, thinking about what happened, replaying it over and over. So let's keep going. Tell me more about what could be coming toward Leo this week. Addiction. Interesting. Codependent obsession and restraint, possession and control, emotional block. Well, this could potentially be an explanation for why you're in separation from somebody, taking a break. Maybe there was some unhealthy dynamics within the relationship. It definitely stands out to me when I see the message emotional block, because essentially what that is saying to me is that you may have been dealing with someone who was emotionally unavailable, right? So they may have loved you, they may have cared for you, but maybe they really struggled to open up and be vulnerable within the connection. Perhaps this is why maybe you have decided to step away, take some space, take some time. Maybe you're trying to figure out, how do we move forward in a connection if you're not emotionally available to me? So I feel like there has been some sort of unhealthy dynamic here that has potentially led to this rift within the relationship. Okay, tell me more about what could be coming toward Leo this week, please. And then Coffin, let me read the message. New beginnings, liberation, reborn and transition, and tragic endings. Okay, that's a very interesting message, you guys. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. To me, essentially what this is saying is that there is an ending and a new beginning here, right? It's kind of like the old way of doing things is over, right? We're not going back. It's in a coffin, to stick with the card. So I feel like there is potentially a chance here for you and this person to start over. The card does say liberation. It does say reborn. It does say transition. Maybe your person is having a wake-up call. Maybe they're changing their behavior. Maybe they're shifting, right? Potentially they're moving away from some of these addictive type of unhealthy behaviors. Maybe they're becoming more healthy. Maybe they're coming towards you this week and saying, hey, Leo, can we have a new beginning? Can we have a fresh start? Here's how I've been working on myself. Here's how I've been addressing some of the issues. All of that could potentially be happening here. So definitely some heavy energy surrounding your love life this week. If you're connecting with this Leo, here's what we're going to do for the rest of the reading. We're going to look at this person who you're involved with, and we're going to look at you. So we're going to look at their overall energy this week, what they could be feeling, what they could be doing. We will look at the same thing for you, and then we will look at the potential outcome. So let's get into it. I literally had a card jumping out here. So we're looking at your person, Leo. Look at this. So first card jumping out is the Ten of Cups. Now, this is what we call the happily ever after card within the tarot. This is a card of somebody who really loves you, has a heart full of love for you, Leo, and typically somebody who wants to build a life with you, wants to have a future with you. So right away, it's pretty significant to me that this is the first card coming out for your person, because it is saying to me, this is not some sort of casual relationship in their mind. When it comes to the connection between the two of you, this is what they're wishing for. This is what they're hoping for. Something has obviously gone sideways to cause you guys to be in separation, to be broken up, to be taking space. But at the heart of it, it does look like they desire that Ten of Cups, that happily ever after type of energy. Tell me more, please, about this person's energy this week, the Two of Swords, but you guys are at a crossroads, right? This goes back to the uncertain future that I was mentioning in the Oracle, right? Two of Swords is we're at a crossroads. We're stuck right now. So this person is definitely feeling stuck when it comes to your connection. There's a lot of uncertainty here, and I think what's probably going on is that your person they're wondering what you're going to do, Leo, right? I feel like they don't really know what you're going to do, how you're going to respond, what your next step is. They're hoping that things are going to work out, but they do recognize that things are really stuck right now. Their head might be telling them one thing, their heart might be telling them another. They might be trying to figure out, like, how do I approach this situation? How do I potentially move forward with Leo? Tell me more, please. And then the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. So this is actually pretty significant, Leo, because the Eight of Pentacles is a card of hard work. It's a card of investing in what's important to us. It's a card of putting in the time, putting in the energy, putting in the initiative towards what we want to prioritize and what means the most to us. So what this tells me is that, again, we're seeing this energy for your person where they're willing to put in the effort to fix things. They're willing to put in the effort to make up anything that has gone wrong. They want to move forward. They want to find a way to really show you that they're stepping up, they're investing in you, and they're investing in the connection. So if there's an opportunity for them to really show up for you and prove their love, I could see them really taking that step up towards you this week. So let's see what they could be feeling, please. The Hanged Man, yeah. So the Hanged Man is a paused energy. I mean, I think that fits with everything that we've been seeing, right? The relationship is potentially paused if you're resonating with the energy today, Leo. Things are stuck. Now, the good thing is that with the Hanged Man energy, this is an energy of somebody who is slowing down and... Hi. This is my little kitty cat, Fiona. This is somebody who's slowing down and potentially seeing things from a different perspective. So I do think that, okay, hi, Fiona, thank you. I do think this is significant because remember how earlier in the reading I was saying the issue here could potentially be related to an emotional block where your person has not been opening up, they have not been emotionally available. The Hanged Man is showing up in their feelings. So maybe they're starting to get a different perspective here and being like, I haven't been that emotionally open. Maybe they've been detached, maybe they've been disconnected, but now they're starting to see things differently and they're starting to recognize how their behavior has potentially led to the challenges here within your connection. Okay, tell me more about what they could be feeling this week, the Three of Wands. I think this is definitely somebody who sees a future with you. They're thinking ahead, they're imagining a future with you, Leo. Tell me more about what they could be feeling, please. And then the King of Pentacles. It's kind of like they want to come in and show you, I can be the steady, stable person that you need me to be, Leo. This is Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I really think that this week could present an opportunity for them to show you that they have grown, they've evolved, they've worked on themselves. Maybe they've addressed some of the things that were concerning to you, right? And now they're wanting to be like, look, Leo, I'm now a lot more emotionally steady, a lot more emotionally stable, a lot more emotionally available potentially here. So I'm definitely getting the sense that your person loves you and wants to work on things. And this week, that's the type of energy, the kind of energy that you could feel coming towards you. So let's see what actions they could be taking. The Queen of Wands, okay? So it's possible you're dealing with a fellow fire sign, another Leo, maybe an Aries, maybe a Sagittarius. Essentially here, Leo, I think they're going to be passionately pursuing you this week, okay? They're going to be showing you that they're still confident in the love that they have for you. They're still confident in the connection that the two of you have. And so I feel their energy strongly coming towards you this week with that Queen of Wands. Tell me more about what actions they could be taking. Three of Cups. I also think that they're going to friends and family for advice. They're trying to figure out, like, how do I fix this with Leo? How do I make things right? How do I find a way to move forward? So I think they're getting advice from people for how to best approach this situation with you. Tell me more about what actions they could be taking. The Magician. So the thing here with the Magician is that it is a card of manifestation. It's a card about using all the tools available to us to create the reality that we desire. I do see your person taking some sort of action towards you this week, Leo, with the Magician. It's about them wanting to manifest a future, them wanting a future with you, them wanting to manifest the two of you getting into a much better place when it comes to your connection. So overall, I definitely think that your person wants a fresh start, a new beginning, and you could see them taking some sort of action towards you that is really indicative of that this week. Okay, oh, so let's look at you. All right, this card came jumping out. It's kind of funny. The first card for your person came jumping out and the first card for you came jumping out. So Leo, you're starting with the Eight of Swords. You can see here, this is a bit of a heavier energy. It definitely indicates someone who's like up in their head and having a lot of doubts about their relationship. So right now, I think you're feeling stuck. You're doubting the future of the connection. You're doubting where things could go between the two of you. That fits. I think it makes sense within the context of the separation card that we saw earlier and the addiction card. If there has been unhealthy stuff or things that are not working for you within the connection, I think it's been stressing you out and it's really been causing you to doubt the future of the relationship here between you and this person. Tell me more about Leo's energy this week. The Fool, that's interesting, Leo. So the Fool is about a fresh start and a brand new beginning. So even though you're stressed out and uncertain about this connection, the Fool does seem to indicate that you are open to a fresh start. I'm getting the message like if they play their cards right. I don't know why that came into my head, but it did, so I'm going to say it. But I think it's one of those things where I don't think you want to lose them, but I don't think you want the relationship to continue in the state that it is currently in. You need to see changes. You need to see your person addressing the issues. So I think you're open to being with them, but things are going to have to change in a more positive direction. Tell me more, please. And then the Page of Wands. I think you guys are definitely attracted to each other. There's probably a lot of fun, flirty vibes, a lot of chemistry. But we've talked about this before, Leo. I don't think, and I don't think this is just me, I don't think you can build a relationship purely just on the chemistry. I think there's a lot of facets that go into a relationship. It's not just the chemistry and the physical, it's the intellectual, the spiritual, the emotional, right? And we've talked about how maybe there's been a deficit in that area where your person, if they have been emotionally unavailable, you're like, yeah, well, okay, the chemistry is great, the physical side of things is great, but I'm feeling this emotional disconnect. And that's what I think has potentially been holding back the connection. So I don't think the issue here is a lack of chemistry. I think the issue is the emotional side of things. That's what needs to potentially be worked on here. Okay, so let's see what Leo could be feeling this week. Ace of Wands, okay. I'm gonna say something. It's not gonna be for everybody. If you guys are separated and you end up meeting up this week, you could end up hooking up, okay? So you could find yourself in bed with this person potentially. Like I said, I think the sparks are really hot and heavy between the two of you. So if the two of you do end up connecting this week, you might find yourselves ending up in a position where you're really physically connecting. Again, I don't think that's the issue between the two of you, but that could be happening this week. Tell me more, please. Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Your energy is kind of wild for this week, Leo, because I have pulled 5 tarot cards for you. And 3 of the 5 cards have a very strong energy related to new beginnings. The Fool, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. So it looks like this week could be indicating a potential new beginning, which we did see with the Oracle message. It literally had the message here, new beginnings. Maybe there is an opportunity for a fresh start between you and this person. The thing that I like is that we had the Ace of Wands and I was like, okay, we know that you guys are really attracted to each other. That's not the issue. But the Ace of Pentacles actually brings in a lot more stability. So the Ace of Pentacles essentially says to me, like, there is the passion with the Ace of Wands, but there's the loyalty and there's the devotion, right? There's the ability to plant those seeds and start to build something steady and stable between you and this person. So that could be the beginning of the transition within your relationship where it's not just about like the crazy physical chemistry, but there's starting to be a lot more stability within the dynamic between the two of you. Right, Fiona? Okay, you just take a seat and hang out, my love. Let's see what else Leo could be feeling this week, please. And then the Chariot. So I do think you're trying to find a way to move forward. Chariot often shows up when we are overcoming challenges and difficulties, right? So I've got to say, like, I am getting a hopeful vibe. When I looked at your person, I was like, they don't want to give up on you, Leo. And I don't think you want to give up on them either. If I'm being honest, now that we get into your energy, I think things are going to have to be fixed and things are going to have to be addressed. But I do not see you being closed off to this. I feel your energy is actually quite open to fixing this. Okay, so what actions could Leo be taking? The King of Swords, there we go. I actually love that so much because I feel like one of the things we talk about on my channel a lot is like communication, effective communication. And so what I see here, Leo, in your actions is that you're working to clear the air. You might be initiating an important conversation. You might be talking about what you're thinking, what you're feeling. There's a sense of maturity. King, don't worry about the gender, it's the energy. This is the energy of somebody who's coming in, speaking their truth, getting to the heart of the issue so that you can move past the issues that you and your person have. The way you're going to do that, though, is with the communication, with that King of Swords. Tell me more about what actions you could be taking. The Ten of Wands, okay? There's obviously an emotional heaviness here right now. There's emotional baggage surrounding the connection. That's going to have to be cleared out. I think the communication with the King of Swords has the potential to help alleviate some of this emotional baggage, because the Ten of Swords is basically saying, like, there is some heavy shit weighing on your relationship, but the Ten of Wands to me is like getting ready to clear it out. It's like the emotional baggage is there, so now it becomes a question of how do we deal with it and how do we move forward? And this week might give you guys an opportunity to start to clear out some of that emotional baggage in your relationship. Tell me more about what actions Leo could be taking. Five of Wands, yeah. So I think there's definitely things that are going to need to be hashed out between you and this person, Leo, okay? We have the King of Swords, we have the Five of Wands. King of Swords is a truth teller, okay? So King of Swords is clear, but it doesn't mean that the conversations are easy to have. I feel like whatever conversations you and your person need to have are not necessarily easy, but they are necessary. You guys need to get it out in the open. You need to talk, maybe need to butt heads a little bit, get those issues out there. And that could be what allows you to finally let go of some of that emotional baggage, because now you're dealing with the issues, you're tackling them head on. And I see you very strongly stepping into that energy, Leo. And I think if all goes well, that's where you're open to a new beginning. So I think you're looking at it this week where you're like, I'm going to bring up some important conversations, and depending on how they respond, if they respond well, I think you're definitely open to moving forward with them. Okay, so moment of truth. Let's see what the potential outcome is here. Five of Cups, okay. Dealing with the disappointment. That's probably something that needs to be addressed. What else? Seven of Swords. Oh shit. Okay, we're getting some heavy energy here in the outcome. And then, okay. I think it's going to work out, you guys, but I do think there is definitely some emotional baggage that's going to need to be addressed here between the two of you. Five of Cups and Seven of Swords, they are heavier energy. Five of Cups is like, you've let me down. Seven of Swords is kind of nefarious. It's like someone who maybe even lied about something. They were dishonest. They hid things. They hid their feelings. We talked about that emotional block. And so I do think there's a recognition here in the outcome. Like, look, there is definitely some stuff that's gone down between the two of you. I don't think you can move forward without fixing this. In order for the two of you to have a new beginning, this week is going to be an opportunity to start to address this, Leo. The positive thing here that I can see is that the final card of the reading is the Queen of Swords, okay? So the fact that this follows the Five of Cups and the Seven of Swords, it means to me that you are communicating about the issues. You're getting clarity. You're getting the answers you need about the disappointment, the emotional unavailability, whatever kind of issues have been plaguing your relationship. So I do think that this week could actually end up being quite productive. Like I said, you might end up hooking up with this person, but I don't think it's going to be just that you're hooking up with them. I think there's actually going to be some really productive conversations to help to start to address some of the issues. So this week could give a bit of a turning point within the connection between you and your person. And from what I'm seeing here, Leo, I do think that both of you are definitely open to finding a way to move forward. If there's a will, there's a way. So that's what I see for you, Leo. If you enjoyed this reading, you know what to do. Give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And of course, I wish you love, I wish you happiness, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.